Right, there are three things in 2023 that I would not like to see in 2024. And to illustrate this, I'm going to draw you a triangle. And we're going to cover off those three things, which are pricing, representation, and advice. My name is Cynthia McFarlane. I am a barrister, a lawyer with over 20 years legal experience. I'm also an international mediator, accredited, and I am a legal coach. I'm also the founder of Lawpreneur. And at Lawpreneur, we work with Mackenzie friends and non-lawyer representatives to win their cases with the Lawpreneur framework. This isn't the framework, this is simply an example of what I saw in 2023 and what I hope to see in 2024. So, what I saw was this. Mackenzie friends in particular assisting their clients. Nothing wrong with that, you might think. Successfully or unsuccessfully, that's what they were doing in 2023. Over here, what I also saw was this. Incomplete advice being given. I was often at the receiving end of that. I would often get to court having dealt with a client and then coming to me later on and telling me that their case could be done much sooner, less adjournments, if only they had the right legal advice earlier on. Now, we all know the legal system does run to the halt sometimes, quite a lot, particularly recently, but adjournments can be avoided. And over here, in terms of pricing, what I also saw was this. Pricing as a lawyer. Now, I know that's going to be something of a hot potato, quite controversial, but stick with me at the moment. Pricing as a lawyer. Now, I'm often in a number of Facebook groups and other online groups where we see a lot of complaints because the public, those who hire Mackenzie friends, hire other legal professionals, hire lawyers, they're expecting the price, whether that's deemed to be low or high, whatever that price is to them or what you deem to be the price, it's pricing as a lawyer. So numerous complaints, public complaints, and a lot of public humiliation when it came to these people, the Mackenzie friends, the non-lawyer representatives, pricing as a lawyer. And so in 2024, rather than assisting, what I'd love to see is much more of this. Standing up. And I mean standing up metaphorically, standing up physically, where permissible in court, with confidence. And in terms of advice, rather than incomplete advice, why not have full and complete advice? Leading to less adjournments, as I mentioned earlier, leading to better satisfaction for the client. And so let's go to pricing. I've said pricing as a lawyer, What about pricing leading to this? Less complaints. Less public complaints, less public humiliation. And so when we're talking about pricing, going from this, pricing as a lawyer, to this, less complaints, what we're really talking about is this, strategy. And when we're talking about representation, we're really talking about court or tribunal. What we're talking about here in terms of advice are really alternatives to the court process. When you think about what I was saying in relation to the experiences I've had at court and those I hear about publicly, is really what could have happened if they had the right advice, alternatives to the court process earlier on. And so when we're looking at all of these points, strategy, court and alternatives, there's one big thing that's missing, the big E, as I like to call it. I'm not sure of whether you caught up, but what do you think we may be thinking about here? Well, I'm going to tell you it anyway. It's this. Ethics. That runs throughout, as a common thread, in my opinion, throughout all of this. And that's something that we like to take seriously at Lawpreneur. And if you're running a business in 2024, a legal business, and you're one of these people, I suggest that you might be seriously looking at doing a little bit more than what you've done up to now, perhaps, or in a way that you've done it up to now. But you might want to be doing your business, running your business in terms of a strategy. And if you'd like to think about that seriously in 2024, along with this as being important to you in this day as a Mackenzie friend or non-lawyer representative, then I suggest that you reach out to me, message me, and we will set up a call for you, see whether you are fit for Lawpreneur, and see whether we can take your business much further in 2024. Any questions or any comments, reach out. Thank you.